Hey, what up, Lit fam? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
No! What the hell happened to this website? Don't get me wrong, I love YouTube, and I'm so grateful for the things it provides. I love the ability to watch my favorite creators whenever I want, and the existence of a platform that allows these people to flourish. I love being able to broadcast whatever I want onto the internet for thousands of people, and I'm so grateful for what I have on this site. People who watch my videos comment such nice and beautiful things. It blows me away. Without this site, I wouldn't have that, and I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do. I'm sure a lot of other content creators would tell you the exact same thing. Hell, I'm even getting paid for it, which is an added bonus. I love YouTube so much, and I'm so grateful for the things it provides. But it's fairly obvious that the site has changed a hell of a lot since it was first introduced, and not for the better in most cases. It's not a terrible site. There are a lot of fantastic features on this website that I am truly thankful for. But a lot of YouTube's main problems relate to money. The site initially started out as nothing but a video sharing website. But I feel everything went to hell as soon as the ability to monetize your videos came into play. Don't get me wrong, YouTube has always had its issues, but I feel that the second people realize this get-rich-quick method, the site has been flooded with some of the worst content and worst people I've ever been unfortunate enough to witness. I want to start this video off by saying that I don't think I'm better than anyone on YouTube. This video is not about me. It's only stemming from my personal experiences on the website. I'm not trying to talk myself up or make myself look better than anyone.
Okay, I'll get to the point.
This site is very much ruined, and there are a multitude of factors that have contributed to that. There's a lot of ground to cover in this video, so I figured I'd start with the obvious.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Clickbait is not anything new. News articles use it, advertisements use it, friggin' magazine covers use it. The main goal of consumerism is to catch the attention of people by any means possible. And we'll lie as much as possible so long as it reels people in. We all complain about clickbait on YouTube being cancer and all that, but the sad fact is that this kind of bullshit works and the creators know it. In actuality, they're quite smart. Well, maybe not, but they're intelligent enough to know that this system works. In terms of clickbait, the issue is not the content creators, it's the viewers. People keep clicking on this garbage, and so they keep encouraging people to pump it out. Who can condemn someone for using a system that works? I sure can't blame them. It's easy money. But the issue I have with these people is how little they care for their audience. They don't give a shit about you at all. All they care about is money, and that's plainly evident in how little effort they put into this content. I don't understand how people can watch this garbage even though it's blatantly obvious they're being manipulated by these people. People want to see this guy slap himself in the face for 24 hours. For some reason. And all it takes is either someone getting hurt in the thumbnail, or breasts,
Because it makes my pee-pee big.
to reel people in, and there you have it. Millions upon millions of views, videos created with as little effort as possible. The worst offenders of these are stupid community channels like The Richest or Watch Mojo, that pump out this kind of shit daily. I watched a few of these videos, and they're always the same thing. Same boring narrator, with still images or stolen footage in the backgrounds. Hello everyone, welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down 10 things you shouldn't shove up your butt. Absolute low effort videos that most likely take less than an hour to produce, that then rack up millions of views from their deceptive thumbnails that never leave my recommended. Wait, hold on a sec. Is that the thing from Stranger Things? Look at some of the most famous and more recognized YouTubers on this site, for example. PewDiePie, RiceGum, Jake Paul. Yeah, it didn't take me long to mention them, huh? You can't even tell what the video is about due to the way they present it. It's ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I for one love PewDiePie, and I'm sure there are those watching that like Jake Paul and RiceGum. But you have to agree that most of the time when you click on their videos, the title and thumbnail don't do much to tell you what it's actually about. Clickbait drowns out all of the other videos on recommended, and their presence in that sidebar is incredibly dominating, regardless of what you actually watch. It's so hard to find a good video to watch amidst all of the 10 photos you won't believe are real. But unfortunately, clickbait is almost required at this point. If I was to name a video Minecraft Let's Play episode 22, it wouldn't get nearly as many views as something like, you won't believe what I found in Minecraft. It's so hard to catch the attention of people nowadays due to the absolute gigantic amount of content on the site. And trying to get your video noticed above the billions of videos released all the time is increasingly difficult. But you know what you lose with that kind of content? A community. For me personally, what's more important than likes, views, and ad revenue is reception. I care way more about what people think of a video than how much money I make off of it. But that is certainly not the case for most people. A large majority of people on this site are only in it for the money. And that's why you get such garbage and rushed out content nowadays. It's really demotivating in terms of these absolute shit stains putting in no effort and doing so well, while people who put in actual effort get a fraction of the views. YouTube doesn't favor quality, it favors quantity. And unless you're very well recognized, you're gonna struggle on this website unless you manage to pump out the same garbage every single day. A lot of these YouTubers will do whatever they can to draw in the masses by doing the bare minimum, and so sure, their videos may receive millions upon millions of views, but look at the comments. It's absolutely ridiculous. But these people don't care that they don't have a community or proper fans. That's not what they're on the site for. And that's why one of the biggest issues on this website is the monetization. Don't get me wrong, money is great, but that's also the problem. Money is great, and people want a lot of it. If you don't believe me, take a look at the number of mid-rolls during these type of videos. Astounding. I can't for a second blame these creators for creating this garbage. It's a clever way to make money for barely any effort. It just infuriates me how they can blatantly manipulate and use people. It's honestly pathetic, but they wouldn't do it if it didn't work.
Want to join my free gift card giveaway? Subscribe to my channel.
YouTube is a site that essentially anyone can use. It's pretty much free. And that's awesome because it means that anyone is able to put themselves out there. But then again, that's the issue. Anyone can put themselves out there. It empowers the ignorant, allowing absolutely anyone to get away with shit like this. No longer is the site about creativity or quality, instead about who can make their thumbnail the most clickable. And the sad fact is, it doesn't matter how good a video actually is, if it has a shit thumbnail, no one's gonna click on it. Instead, crap like this are what people are watching. What are you even highlighting? That doesn't even... Honest titles and thumbnails don't get you anywhere anymore on YouTube. What matters for me when judging a content creator is the intent. I'm not going to be harsh on a video if the person making it is creating it for the sole purpose of entertaining others or making people happy. But these absolute scumbags, they don't give a shit about the content they make. For them, it's not about the viewers or the fans. That's just collateral damage. It's about the money. It's greed. And it's very concerning. But YouTube favors these people. I'm constantly recommended these people, and it's why they're so successful. As I said, for me, the intent is what matters. I don't care how terrible a video is, so long as it makes people happy. And people like RiceGum, Jake Paul, their videos may be bad, but at least they make people, namely children, but still, happy. Now, this isn't necessarily the creator's intent. For them, it's just an added bonus, as well as, on occasion, a safety net for defending their actions. But hey, I can respect the fact that there are people out there who do like these channels, and it's not my place to tell you what you can and can't like. I just think everyone should be aware if a channel is using and abusing you.
Let's get on.
Continuing on from my point about how YouTubers will do essentially anything to get themselves views, a common trend on YouTube nowadays is to start some sort of drama with someone. One creator will throw shade at someone, only to receive a response video, and then they'll write a crappy diss track in response. Millions upon millions of views. Why? Because people want to know. Even if they don't give a crap about the creators involved, they do want to know what all the fuss is about. And you find so many people leeching off of all of this. Like, for example, the drama channels.
Right.
Take that recent KSI drama that I couldn't be asked following. You have all of a sudden his sidemen making their own low-effort reaction videos. RiceGum and iDubbbz. RiceGum milks the situation for all it's worth and then makes a gazillion videos on the topic. It draws in tons of people, and it's gotten to the point of creators just starting up fake drama just for the views. As Jax Films once said, drama is more popular than content. It's easier for people to pretend to fight with one another and milk the situation for all it's worth than put in any actual effort creating original content. Take these two fantastic creators. As I said, it's pathetic. It's scummy. But they don't care. It works. What a lot of these large YouTubers don't realize is that people look up to them, especially young children. They view them as role models and see the way they act and talk to people, and will most likely try to replicate it because they don't know any better. What are they being taught by people like RiceGum and Jake Paul? To be an asshole, to shove all of your expensive belongings in someone else's face, and then continue being an asshole. It's just not right, and they don't realize the effect they're having on people. Like this, for example.
Dab on them haters! Dab on them haters!
Okay.
Fame can easily get to your head.
Millions and millions of subscribers on YouTube. Professional Call of Duty. Call of Duty app.
And then there are plenty of famous YouTubers who appear to be great people. There are plenty others who just don't care. They are completely and absolutely full of themselves, and the damage they wreak upon the site doesn't stop until it's too late. YouTubers have gone from laughingstocks to being officially recognized celebrities, and unfortunately with that, it's caused a lot of stereotyping. The whole PewDiePie fiasco of this year hit the site hard, and it just goes to show how YouTubers are perceived by the media, as scandalous as officially recognized celebrities. PewDiePie, a person once initially thought to be someone who just screams and plays games, is now apparently important enough to be covered by the Wall Street Journal. Now, I'm sure we all know this article was nothing but a desperate attempt at traffic, and was written in a slanderous way, but the impact it had sent shockwaves throughout YouTube, resulting in what was dubbed this year's Adpocalypse. And speaking of that... Yet enough of people talking about demonetization? I'm sure you have, but unfortunately, it is a serious issue. I feel like we're constantly being punished as creators for doing what we do. And while YouTube is well within their right to do that, it's the lack of a why that is the concern. Recently on Twitter, YouTube lied about the consequences of demonetization, stating that a demonetized video does not lose views, which has been disproven by a plethora of people. Since YouTube can't make money off of it, they stop recommending that video, and as a result, the views of the video die instantly. All that hard work and time into producing that video for absolutely nothing. YouTube's stupid AI accidentally thinks that there's something wrong with your video, and so all of that hard work and time for nothing, buddy. Sorry. Screw you. Every single video I've had demonetized has been reinstated. So why was it demonetized in the first place? A question that I'm sure you've heard a million times by now. And it's really disheartening to see so many creators who have done so much work to get where they are continuously stricken down by this website. YouTube and the advertisers that support them seem to have the same mentality as a high school teacher. One person does something wrong, therefore everyone has to get punished for it. I've had plenty infuriating cases of this, and more often than not, a video doesn't get reviewed for a few days, resulting in a dramatic loss of traffic. It's too late by the time a video gets its monetization back, as by then too much time has passed, most of the earnings have been lost, and the video has gone under the radar of too many. And this flawed AI is slaughtering the growth of so many channels. And then there's the issue of YouTube's easily abused copyright and content ID system, which I understand the need for, but the way so many companies have attempted and gotten away with false strikes and ignoring fair use is ridiculous. Once again, YouTube has stayed silent on this issue, making it very difficult to know what can and can't be used in videos. There's no rhyme or reason to copyright strikes. Some are issued out by bots who have no idea what they're doing, and some are manually claimed. And the manually claimed ones, more often than not, don't specify what you did wrong. I used a snippet of a song in a 36-minute video, and it was claimed. In another short video, where the song was the only audio in it, no strike was issued. It doesn't make any sense, and it becomes a guessing game. Only once have I actually won a copyright dispute, and more often than not, I'm forced to take down videos that have been unjustly struck with copyright, as have many other YouTubers. One of the most famous examples being I Hate Everything's ordeal with Derek Savage, and his abuse of the copyright system in an attempt to harm a channel who critiqued his work. I get the need for the system, due to the seemingly thousands of channels illegally streaming and uploading copyrighted movies and TV shows to the site. But instead of going after those growing channels, which YouTube constantly recommends to me by the way, they go after creators who show 5 seconds of a viral video. Right. YouTube has become untrustworthy. I am forced to rely on this site to do its job when it constantly doesn't, to send out a notification of a new video to subscribers, and to recommend it to people so as to draw in traffic. However, there's always a chance that something won't go right, and recently that's been the case more often than not. This site is heavily flawed, and with each new addition to its already confusing and convoluted algorithm, it's harder and harder to get videos out to the public. It's so nerve-wracking as a creator having to worry not only about whether a video will do well, but also the added detriments of demonetization, copyright, and YouTube malfunctioning. It's incredibly stressful, and recently, uploading videos to YouTube hasn't brought me as much joy as it has a nervous breakdown. This is because YouTube is prioritizing whatever makes them the most money. If you ever want an example of that, go to YouTube's infamous trending tab, which always makes me lose faith in humanity whenever I have the misfortune of accidentally clicking on it. Seriously, scrolling through this reduces your will to live. It was revealed that Jimmy Kimmel, the late night talk show host that Clogs My recommended, was classified by YouTube as a priority creator. He was unable to have videos uploaded to his channel demonetized. His coverage of a tragic event was monetized, and Casey Neistat's was not, despite YouTube claiming that they don't monetize tragedies. They're lying to us. This massive company, who has provided so many people with so much, is deceiving millions of people. YouTube and Google are constantly being dishonest and lying to the general public who are in desperate need of answers just to save face so as to reel back in their advertisers. I don't care about money, honestly. I want to make people happy. I know most YouTubers aren't exactly known for being trustworthy, so I forgive you if you look at me as if I just want to make myself look better. But honestly, nothing fills me with more joy than reading a comment section filled with people telling me that my video made them happy. So what scares me is that soon I may not be able to do this anymore. I've wanted to do this since I was very young, and now I'm living the dream. I want to do this forever. And as I've said before, I'm sure most other content creators would tell you the exact same thing. It is a job, Dad. But I fear with each passing day that the site is continuing to get worse. YouTube refuses to speak to its creators. It refuses to listen to the public. It just shuts itself off and continues to issue out demonetization waves. I feel so powerless as a creator, because I have no one to reach out to or discuss about the problems. Some YouTubers are partnered with a network to help them out in cases like these, but if you don't have a network like I don't, you're screwed. If your channel receives a false strike, or if someone re-uploads one of your videos, there's not much you can do but panic. YouTube admittedly does provide some tools to deal with this, but more often than not they're completely useless. One time I had an issue with a video's monetization, and as a result it was not being recommended or notified to new subscribers. I contacted YouTube, and it took them a week to respond. A freaking week. There's their Twitter, which I admit did help me out in one occasion. However, many other YouTubers have had to rely on other creators to help them due to YouTube's continued silence. What I love about YouTube is the connection between the creator and the viewer. We're not watching someone being controlled by people in suits where every single word they say is dictated by a powerful company. Instead, most YouTubers are operated entirely independently, and it feels more honest and genuine. A lot of these content creators feel like friends almost, because we've gotten to know them as people. I don't know, is that weird? It's probably weird. I'd so much rather watch someone sitting down in front of a camera and talking because I know it's them, as opposed to a television show where every single person has lines written beforehand by 50-year-old men who have no idea what kids like. YouTube doesn't seem to realize this, and that's evident through things such as YouTube Rewind and YouTube Red, where these creators whom we love are shoved into things they didn't create, and so lack the charm or enjoyment that would come from watching one of their videos. It's not just the people we enjoy watching, it's the content and the way they make it that makes it so appealing. Most YouTubers have their own style, and it's this uniqueness that draws many to their channel. Names and faces aren't enough to make something appealing, at least for me. When you take away the individuality and the creativeness of a YouTuber, it lacks the enjoyment. For me, at least, individually created work will always be better than a big budget production backed by a studio who is attempting so hard to appeal to its target demographic but failing miserably. For example, it's why Smosh is so awful now in comparison to what they once were. YouTube doesn't favor independent creators, and despite what they claim, they don't support growing channels or people wanting to flourish on the site. What they favor are companies who can make them the most money. And nowadays you'll find YouTube absolutely polluted by large companies paying YouTube to promote their shitty videos. The Ellen Show, Jimmy Fallon, reality TV, movie trailers, they're all over the goddamn place, and it casts a shadow over the creators who actually deserve recognition. YouTube seems to want to make everything PG and family friendly, when in actuality this site thrives on being different and unique, appealing to people of all ages. They already have YouTube Kids for God's sake, but unfortunately both YouTube and the creators that thrive on the site have to appeal to the advertisers. So, in a few years' time, you may very well be watching me talk about why the alphabet is great, or listing colors off, because I won't be able to do anything else according to YouTube's new guidelines. YouTube doesn't have a competitor. There's no pressure being applied to the website, and so as a result it can continually make these mistakes without having any need to fix them. I mean, there's always Daily Motion.
You know, there are people who exist that like that thing. We will not be silenced, you f***ing son of a bitch!
YouTube's comment section is notorious for being a cesspool of hatred, and upon researching this video, I have found that that is very much the case. Maybe not in every instance, love you guys, but especially in the bigger YouTube channels, the comment section is... what's that word? What's the one that the internet likes to throw around? The comment section is a fantastic tool that allows people to say whatever they want, to share their thoughts about something, to leave their thoughts on a video, to encourage creators, but unfortunately you'll find that most people just use it to get themselves attention. I can say as a creator that nothing pisses me off more than the following type of comments. People who beg for subscribers, a very ineffective way of gaining traction by the way. People who beg for shoutouts, people who beg for a collab, people who beg for likes, like this if you're watching in, and much, much more. Thankfully, YouTube does make policing your own comment section very, very easy, but it's up to the creator how much they want to clean up their comments. Unfortunately, it does seem that most content creators don't really seem to care. For example, the bigger YouTube channels. Look at PewDiePie and Markiplier, for example. Their comment section is so gigantic that they just can't clean it up, and as a result, their comment sections are filled with things not even related to the video. As I said, with clickbait comes a lack of community. There are lots of channels with amazing communities, and then there are channels with an incredibly awful audience, such as, but not limited to, Angry Joe Show, and half of the Game Grumps and Team 4-Star community. Rude, impatient, and insatiable people who clamor to the comments to express their distaste with anything different, not realizing that the creator owes them nothing and is free to do what they want with their own channel. It's scary, because there's not really anything a creator can do to determine their audience, with the exception of a particular fanbase or type of person. More often than not, this will turn out to be kids, and sadly, most kids are limited in their questionable judgment. I can't say that I'm in this situation, and I am very grateful that that isn't the case. But I do fear one day that it may very well be. I care deeply about whom my videos are reaching, and I'd hate for them to become something like that.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
YouTube is a fantastic website that lets anybody express themselves, and the site has turned up some of the most fantastic creators and people I've seen in my entire life. But unfortunately, it's a combined effort between the idiots abusing the system and YouTube's reluctance to take action that has turned the site into the absolute mess that it is today. Let's cut right to the chase. I'm upset enough as it is recounting this information about a site that I've desperately wanted to be a part of for so long, becoming an absolute shit show. Is YouTube ruined forever? See, that's a little hard to say. It's easy to say yes. It's easy to give up hope. I'd like to look on the positive side of things. This video is still going to reach some people. Maybe get a copyright strike. Maybe YouTube will malfunction for the 87th time. But at least I'm still able to do what I do. But what does scare me is how much I truly believe that that won't be the case for very much longer. So in that case, yes, YouTube is ruined forever. At this rate, undoubtedly. That's not to say the whole site is bad, because that's definitely not the case. I mean, I don't want to take for granted the things that I'm still able to do. But if you take a big step back and look at this site as a whole, and the way it's progressing, you can see that while it seems that we've hit rock bottom, YouTube continuously finds a way to keep going down. I love this website, and I love so many of the creators on it. But the way that YouTube is acting, and the way that they prioritize this garbage content, at the moment, nothing is going to change. They're not going to clean up the ways of this god-awful bullshit. The way people act online is certainly never going to change. And I guarantee you a few years from now, we won't even be able to swear in videos. And we'll be given specific requirements of what to include in videos so as to appeal to advertisers. This site continues to worsen with each passing day. And I'm sick of being optimistic about it and lying to myself. YouTube needs to get their shit together. I can't be the only one who wants to see this site and the creators on it flourish for a long, long time. In a more honest and genuine fashion. But at this rate, that is never going to happen. Unless we get a miracle, YouTube is ruined forever. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like the video. If we can get this video to 1 million likes, I will do a face reveal. Thanks, guys.